Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Aries August 2022 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. For those of you who are stopping by for the first time, it's a great pleasure to see you, and it has been my great pleasure over the course of the last month to see a number of your Aries sisters and brothers for a personal one-on-one clairvoyant reading with me, and if you'd like to find out more about that, just check out the description. Now, there'll be no advertisements during the content of this video, so you get to enjoy the experience. And let's see what there is in store for you now. I'm going to draw 5 cards because 5 is all we need. It's also the number of Mars, and I have a card of Mars just here. Mars is also about change. And there are 3 things in life that are certain: death, taxes, and change. So let's see what there is in store for you now, shall we? That's the first card here is Kali, Major Arcana, number 16, Shattering the Structure. I wonder what that has to say. What do we have here? The 6 of Discs. Quite an unusual deck this. This is a independent deck. There is the Magician for you. Let's see what else there is here. 2 more, and that should do it for us, I think. You enjoying yourself? Starting to warm up now, isn't it, in the northern hemisphere? And hopefully you can get outside and enjoy the sun. The southern hemisphere, ooh, it's a bit cold. So everyone in North America, there's the 6 of Swords. North America and Mexico, the Philippines, India, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia will be enjoying themselves. And Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand in winter. Let's see what there is here. And then the final card is the Teacher of Discs. Well, why don't you come now? Sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on the cards together while I do your reading for you. Right, now I think you can see those. Let's start with this first card that you drew, Shattering the Structure. And here is named on the card Kali. Well, Kali in Hinduism is the most powerful form of Shakti, that primordial cosmic energy that penetrates all of the universe. And she is the consort of Shiva. Shiva, the destroyer and the rebuilder. Now, traditionally, this card is called the Tower of Destruction, and as you would know, it is depicted by a tower being struck by a bolt of lightning. Actually, it's Mars in full attack mode. Actually, here's the signature. I mentioned to you that there was this card of Mars here for you, didn't I, of your sign? Let's have a quick look at Mars. How are you, Mars? Good to see you. As a good chap. Now, let's get back to this energy here. Mars here is in full attack mode, destroying anything inside of you which is fake or which is not true to fact. Now, through the band in the middle of the picture, it seems to me, this represents both the ego mind and traditional civilization. Now, the fact that Kali is larger than this band reminds you that the forces of creation and destruction are much larger than the band of ordinary reality you are usually aware of. Creation and destruction have a mind of their own, and ego has little control over that. Now, the star, which is down here near the bottom, well, I think that represents the dynamic energy of the universe, the essential Kali energy that is always in motion. Now, this is a reminder to you that you must learn to honor the creative function of destruction. An old pattern is broken up so that a new pattern can be formed. It can take a big force to break up certain patterns for a number of reasons, not the least of which is your own resistance. Yet even factors such as the length of time that something's been around or the love inherent in the pattern can make it hard to change. A stable, long-term marriage or relationship or well-established traditions are examples of forms that are not easily dissolved. Now, naturally, sudden, unexpected changes in these patterns could well be painful and disoriented. It could feel as if the ground is being pulled out from underneath you. And in some respect, it is, because Kali comes as an earthquake in your life. Now, because you have drawn this card, it generally foreshadows or reflects this kind of change. So try not to avoid it, but to honor the greater wisdom of Kali, and to remember that what looks like destruction is part of a larger process of creation. The challenge is to hold the both and. Both are true. Now, it can hurt like hell, and the pain is serving a larger purpose. Sudden, unexpected change is often experienced as trauma, so be gentle with yourself. It is important to support the body in dealing with this trauma, as well as the scared inner child within you and the grappling adult. Now, when the ground of your life is suddenly shaken like this, it is valuable to re-establish contact with the earth and to stay grounded with your body. Now, if you can, put off important decisions until you feel stabilized again. Remember, this earthquake will pass. Order will be re-established because Kali has come not out of vengeance, but out of love. Shall we have a look at the card that's diagonally down here and in the center of your spread, that of the Magician? Well, the Magician represents the power of conscious creation, the ability to manifest or create what you want. Now, the Magician is the one who knows the secret of changing things from one form into another. How you hold this power is important. Using your will and creative powers to manipulate others is a distortion of this energy, and that can sometimes be referred to, or by me anyway, as black magic. Now, this figure of the Magician here is androgynous. It's very often referred to as a male in tarot decks, and so I'll continue to use the male pronoun, but it's important to understand that this power is there both for females and for males. And what makes him a master in the visible realms is that he knows how to harness the energies of the invisible. Now, these include the deliberate use of thought and feeling, but also subtler realms. The thing to be born in you. Now, maybe a book, a song, or a work of art, or it may be a new direction in your work or the way you have been living. Remember that radical change is possible when you harness all the energies that are available to you. Now, the Magician uses his will in a focused and unified way, combined with the power of heart and inspiration to become a channel for creation. Actually, I should say co-creation, because the Magician aligns with universal laws and the larger flow and combines these with personal will and intention. I think we can say that this card represents skillful will and skillful action. It is action in harmony with the greater whole. The magician doesn't try to force something whose time has not yet come. But because you have drawn this card, it is an indication that you are motivated to create, and this is a good time to do so. It signifies that you have the ability to make your hopes and dreams come true if you approach them skillfully, working with the natural laws and natural timing. If what you want to create is not yet apparent, be still and listen. Feel what is waiting to be born in you. It may be a book, a song, a work of art, or it may be a new direction in your work, as I say. Remember that radical change is possible when you harness all of the energies available to you. There is something else that needs to be said here, and we'll just focus on this image while we do so, and it is this, that there is nothing you cannot be, there is nothing you cannot do, there is nothing you cannot have. You are the most magnificent, the most remarkable, the most splendid being God has ever created, for who could reject such wondrous magnificence? But you do not know who you are, and you think you are a great deal less. You are your own rule maker, and you are the only one who can assess how you are doing. All you see in the world is your idea about it. Now understand this. Life will take off for you when you choose for it to. Now let's have a look at this card on that diagonal, shall we? And see it. Now this is interesting. Teacher of Discs. What's this say? What does that say? Oh, it says passionate play. Well, what can we get from that? Anything? Let's see. I think this is about showing up for yourself. It signifies learning to hear and follow your impulses in a sensual and passionate way. Now, the animal, I guess, that best represents this is the cat. In this image here, it looks like it's a wild cat or a feral cat, although you will recognize many of the same characteristics in your house cat or other house cats that friends of yours may have. Cats are good at taking space when they want it, aren't they? And they're good at making contact when they want that. These are the two poles of autonomy and intimacy, and coming to wholeness requires both. Now, you know, autonomy requires being able to listen to yourself and do what you want to do. It is being full of your own energy and power and enjoying it. Now we see in here a lot of Leo energy. There's also Cancer around here, I see. Leo and Cancer being important to you at this time. What we see as this Leo aspect, though, here is a sense within you where you'll become expressive, creative, dynamic. Leos, of course, let themselves take center stage and be flamboyant, do they not? And this relates to the cat's capacity to go on the hunt, to chase after what it wants. Now, although I'm talking about it as an autonomous energy, this does not mean isolation. In love play, it shows up as a frisky, passionate energy. Intimacy, the other element, is the ability to make contact and be close. When being intimate, you are not stopped by any doubt or inhibition, are you? You see this when your cat wants to snuggle. House cats pop their bodies down anywhere and essentially force you to pet them. even though you might be involved in doing something else at the time. They won't take no for an answer, but they also give back. They give back by showing their pleasure, by being warm and available, by being present in every part of their bodies. This is true whether you like cats or not. So cats can show both poles. They can lick and they can bite. Now, if you're feeling more reflective, examine your capacities for autonomy and intimacy. Can you give yourself permission to go your own way and be who you are? Can you let yourself be full of yourself? Not in a narcissistic way, but in terms of owning your own energy and capacities. And how about making contact? Can you let your whole body become a vehicle for contact and pleasure? Can you be warm and available? Can you let your excitement and passion come through? This energy invites you to make more time for passionate play in your life. One way to get in touch with this energy is to imagine yourself as a wild cat, as in this image. Sense the wet earth around you with all of its rich smells. Notice the coolness or dampness of the air and how that feels on your body. Sense your legs and remember how it feels to run. You're strong and you know it. And after you have been with this for a while, see if you can keep this sense of power and aliveness as you walk through your everyday life. Well, where shall we go to? Well, we may as well go from the bottom. We've done that. So on this diagonal, let's deal first with this thing. Structures for the journey. Indeed. Do you know, the first thing that just strikes me about this card is that, and talking about structures for the journey, is that you notice things like this. They're hexagonal. Hexagonal. Hex means 6. Comes from a Greek word. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's a snowflake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another one. The molecules in wood are 6-sided. 6 is the complete structure of nature. 6 for me, mystically, is also associated with Christ consciousness and with Krishna consciousness. In those two cases, the theology is that the divine came into the world as a human, in both the case of Christ and in the case of Krishna. Now, this is the Lord of earned success, and for me it is Mercury ruling the second decan of Aquarius, that 30th of January to the 9th of February. Well, Mercury, the air planet of Mercury, finds itself in the fixed air sign of Aquarius. Now, Mercury is exalted in Aquarius, and that highlights the intellectual qualities of this energy. Aquarius is an air sign, as I say, which can be detached and intellectual by nature, and Mercury's ability to analyze brings a clear perspective going forward. So the astrology of this card here, just looking at the astrology, suggests to me that a somewhat detached but balanced assessment of a situation is needed. You need to analyze something without bias and without too much emotion to get the best result. Do you know, Aquarius is also the sign of innovation and originality, and so this can also represent you communicating, which is Mercury, ideas that are new, which is Aquarius, new, even unconventional, in a very orderly way. So you'll have great mental clarity at this time, and you'll be using your intellect and logic Now, there's a chance of a relocation around here. You'll have an ability to analyze things, to unify ideas. There's an all-encompassing vision and an all-embracing understanding. I think it also means that there is a situation that you probably have not yet been able to come to grips with. Well, now that's going to start to get better. You're now thinking out a better approach in dealing with the situation. Do you know, you possess now the ability to perceive on different levels and from different perspectives. Your understanding of things unites many different aspects. And you might ask yourself this question: where are and what are the ruts in your life? Where are you stuck? Trust your insight. Communicate in a way that others will understand, and allow the flower within you to unfold, and say to yourself, the flower of recognition blossoms in my heart. Now, I think that takes us finally to this one, does it not? Let's have a look here. The web of life, indeed. The web of life. Look, this time the web of life has caught a fly for you, and that fly is that of success. Because this is the moon ruling the second decan of Taurus, where this card appears up in this position and above the magician, and with Kali over here. That means it's the moon ruling the second decan of Taurus, and that's the 1st to the 10th of May. Now, the moon is exalted in Taurus, which is a really good sign. But just like this spider's web, it's not full of insects, but an insect comes in here, and another one comes in here, because the moon is transient in nature, meaning that successes are short-lived. See, it's not a continuum success. You have a success, like an insect coming into the web, and then another insect later comes in. But the moon likes nurturing and comfort, and Taurus, as the fixed sign of Earth, it likes material things, so they are well suited for bringing about material success to you at this time. There is an external manifestation of the inner success and transformation. Generosity, I think paying it forward as well as something that's going to be required. You could well be receiving a financial boost. If you're looking for a grant or a scholarship or an application to the welfare system, they will be well received. But I'd say this to you now, to be open to your success. This is a time of success. So be open to your success. It is no less than a gift that you can learn to accept thankfully and humbly. Real success only comes once you have learned to serve. Success under these conditions enriches all the levels of your being. And ask yourself, what does success mean for you at the moment? Visualize as precisely as possible what your success looks like. And say this to yourself: my self-acceptance and my self-confidence, they are the keys to real success. Well, what a particularly interesting set of cards for you this month. Good job. That's the way it is.
Well, what a fascinating reading. I'm sure you will agree. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. I really look forward to doing your reading each month, you know. I really do. Truly I do. And, you know, I send you some good energy, the subscribers, throughout the month, which you will feel from time to time. So don't worry, I'm always thinking of you. You are never alone. Now, until I see you again, remember one thing, and one thing is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.